Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Grow Your Practice podcast. I'm here with Dino, who is the owner of Triumph Physio and Six Pillar Fitness. How are you going today, mate?
Good, thanks.
That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. Now, you don't mind if I ask you some 5 introduction questions so we can all get to know you a little bit more?
Not at all. Fire away.
Awesome. Okay, so who inspires you?
Oh, that's a good question. Who inspired me to start Triumph Physio, or just in to be honest, I think it was more of a natural progression in that sense. I felt like physio in itself, while there is a lot of courses and learning to be done as well in clinic, it was actually with a previous business partner, Irvina, that we decided to start our own practice as well.
Yeah, rightio. Okay. Now, second one, what was your dream occupation growing up?
Oh, dream occupation.
Yes.
Long story short, I actually wanted to be a paleontologist, and dinosaur bones back home. This is when I can remember. But yeah, paleontologist, just purely just in love with dinosaurs and just want to bring back some fossils back home.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Nice. I've never heard that one before, but very interesting. What's your main hobby currently?
My main hobby, I guess with lockdown and stuff, it's a bit hard, but touch and just real social sports as well, indoor netball. Just going to the gym, yeah. Are
they still running in Auckland? Are
they? We would be getting back into it. I think we're coming out of lockdown hopefully this Friday.
Okay.
And then we'll be open again.
Okay, interesting. What's your dream location to travel to?
Oh, dream location to travel to. Really want to go to Singapore.
Yeah.
And then hopefully Vancouver as well.
Okay, interesting. And where'd you grow up for the last one?
I was actually born in Taiwan, and then I came over when I was 4, and I pretty much grew up out west. A little town called Taupaki, which is a rural suburb. Well, there all my life. Went out school out west as well, West Auckland.
Okay, awesome. All right, well that's all for the introduction questions. It's pretty interesting. So take us back to sort of when you wanted to get into dinosaurs and then that switch to physio. I'd love to sort of hear that little story in there.
Yeah. So I guess there's a bit of a gap in between. So dinosaurs was probably when I was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I think we're coming into high school. I was never really a good student in that sense. I remember going, not going to classes, wagging school, and that jazz. It wasn't really until uni that I would, study a little bit harder and get back into it in terms of the academic side. And physio was actually kind of new to me. I did go to the physio, I think, once or twice back in high school, but I was never really thought about doing it as a profession.
Yeah.
And it wasn't when your first year in uni, we had a common semester where you could sort of have where you can sort of go through a common semester and choose what sort of health profession you want to go into.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I remember signing up to university because I actually finished high school a little bit earlier at year 12, which is 6th form.
Yeah.
Didn't do my 7th form yet. And then, so I didn't really have those high marks to get into the university straight away. So I had to do a bridging common semester course. And I remember signing up to, at that point, I didn't know what to do actually. I remember signing up to biology, aviation, general health science, and I just went through the health science path. And then after the semester, when I decided to go through physio school.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty broad, choices. But so once you obviously finished at uni, did you go straight into the private health, or did you go into the public? I'd love to hear that once you finished graduating.
Yeah, so the idea was during university was to go into the public system to get a bit more experience, but for me it was just straight into the private system.
Yeah, okay.
And base in the clinic.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So what was that point of inspiration that you sort of wanted to start your own practice? Where did that spark come from?
Yeah, it was actually at that point in time I was training with my then business partner Avina. We were going to one of the gyms, I think, and it was just early morning. We were doing this 30-day challenge, and she came up with the idea of, hey, let's do our own practice.
Yeah,
let's start our own thing. And then at that point I was like, yeah, I'm keen, let's do it. And then it wasn't until the following week she actually said she found a place that we could rent out.
Yeah, wow.
All that happened pretty fast. So as soon as she said that, I think I just handed my notice for 2 to 4 weeks at that point in time.
Yeah.
And straight into it.
Yeah, interesting. Wow, that's a very spontaneous. You just went straight in with it. And
yeah. If we had known better, I don't think we would have done it, to be honest.
Yeah.
For the
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Are you guys still business partners?
No. So Irina, about 3 or 4 years ago, was focused more on family and decided to travel down south and start a family there. So she's no longer part of it.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I'd love to hear how you've made your practice really unique in your surrounding areas.
Unique. That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Unique in that sense where I think I'll be more focused on the people in the clinic, or the colleagues and the staff, to look after them and sort of really try and help them find their own way of practice, in the sense of physio and outside of physio as well, where the things they do, it has to be quite a balanced kind of endeavor in terms of their work-life balance. And I was always focused a lot more on them, and I think that in turn helped with our service and level of care with patients as well.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So now how long have you been in Triumph Physio, and how many staff are you currently up to right now? Because I was having a look over your website, and was it about 9 or so that I counted?
Yeah. So I think it's around probably 9 to 11 now. I think we've recently have our own in-house dietitian, which is really good, Caitlin, and a few new physios and acupuncturists as well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And how long were you in Triumph Physio before you actually hired your first staff member?
Good question. I would say probably a good year.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, probably me and Avina to begin with, and probably within a year we hired our first staff.
Yeah. Was that admin or another physio?
That was a physio.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So let's play a little game. So if you had to start over again, what would you do differently moving forward if you had to start Triumph Physio all over again?
Well, I had to start Triumph Physio all over again. Probably better planning, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of the beginning was just learning on the job, which was fun and not fun in some sense. A lot of the stuff that we don't learn in physio school, I think, is quite important. The accounting, marketing, HR, all of that stuff is, in terms of business, we really never touch. And that was a steep learning curve.
Yeah. Because I find that so interesting. Like practice owners are like, oh yeah, I'll start my own practice, but you actually find out you're in business then as soon as you start your own practice, like you're actually in the industry of business, not really. I find that really interesting. Well, you touched on marketing, because obviously I'd focus on marketing in the health industry. I'd love to hear what you've done with Triumph Physio.
Well, in terms of marketing, to be honest, we're pretty bad at it, but we dabbled in, all the major ones, Google, Facebook ads, and all that kind of stuff. Marketing, I think for me more so now would be just interacting and marketing ourselves, really. Like our own personality and brand, in that sense. And just working more with sports teams and individuals to really just present ourselves in a way that we want to be presented in that sense. So you
can build up that word of mouth referral, because obviously they're the best clients you're going to get from that. Awesome. So I'd love to hear what's your best piece of advice for someone that's looking to start a practice?
Ooh, best piece of advice. Don't be afraid to fail in that sense. There's going to be setbacks, like it's bound to happen, but after each setback, you're going to learn from it and grow from it.
Yeah.
I think without setbacks for me would be a lot more difficult, because once that big setback hits, then you're not too sure what to do. These little minor setbacks are a good thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's losing people, or staff moving on to different places, marketing not working out, all that kind of stuff. It does pile up, and if you're more open to the idea of these minor failures, then
okay,
things special later on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Now, how do you go about managing like that, your staff members, and being able to retain them and stop, keeping your good team members, and preventing them from going and starting their own practices? Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. That's a very good question again. Finances always play a big part, but I don't think that's the main point. Yeah. Obviously, you have to pay, your staff at a good rate or value that they're worth, I guess, in that sense. But being engaged with them is probably the key thing. Knowing exactly what they want and be able to develop a pathway for whatever their goals are, not just in a professional way, but maybe more so in personal sense as well, whether or not they want to travel later down the track, or, even if they do want to start their own practice, I'm all for it. I'll be there to help them if they want to. But I think it's just keeping an open dialogue of what they want and expectations for the company as well, and then trying to match those together.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Awesome. I love that. So now you've started 6 Pillar Fitness. What was so is that in the same building, or is that a completely different company? You're a co-owner from my understanding. Run me through the process of that.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I think with Triumph Physio, we started integrating a lot more other health professionals as well. So that would be your massage therapist. We were thinking about dietitian, now that we have one as well, and coaches and trainers. That was really to integrate health and fitness together, because we were looking after a lot of sports teams. We felt like there was a need to really combine all the health disciplines together and really help these athletes excel in their areas. The 6 pillars in Triumph Physio kind of works hand to hand with 6 pillars. So a lot of the staff that are in Triumph Physio are part of 6 pillars as well.
Yeah.
So the 6 pillars is really the integration of health, which is Triumph Physio, and a fitness center.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So now, more gym-based rehab can be done. Other groups and sports teams we can take through as well.
Is it on the same site?
Yeah, it's on the same building that they're working in. So, but the clinic rooms are all inside, and then we have that gym space. Yeah.
Okay. So you're able to give them that full variety and real full service, and awesome. So what's the future plans moving forward, mate? I'd love to hear that. Have you got anything on the books?
My future plans, if all this goes well, I really want to try something overseas as well. Hence why Singapore and Vancouver. But who knows when they'll be 5-10 years later down the track. That would be the big plan. And I guess whoever is still keen from the team now that want to travel with me and go abroad, they're more than welcome as well.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well that's pretty much all I've got from you. That's been awesome to have a chat. I've really learned quite a bit from you, and it's your story's really interesting. But thanks for coming on, mate. Is there anything that you would like to touch on at all?
Yeah, I guess for those that are starting their practice, I think the key thing is just persevere with it, because even initially when we started Triumph Physio, I remember, we would come in 6:30 in the morning, see 2 patients, and not have a patient until 4:30 in the afternoon. And there was a slow grind for about 6 months. And we would be working probably, 60 hours a week with everything else. probably getting paid less than most of our peers, but in the end, it's all worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
So push through.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on, mate. It's been awesome having a chat. We'll chat soon. Cheers.